They say that in the far north, where winter holds the world in silence, there lived a young maiden who wove light into the sky. No one knew her name. No one knew where she came from. Only that she appeared during the coldest night of the year, carrying a loom carved from ice. Her home was a small hut on a lonely hill, surrounded by snow that never melted. The wind there never rested. It sang like something searching for what it had lost. The maiden worked each night beneath the open sky. She spun threads that shimmered like frost on river stone. Some say the threads were made from moonlight. Others say they were spun from her dreams. But all agreed on one thing. Her weaving held a sorrow that could not be hidden. Long ago, the sky had been torn by a great storm. The clouds split apart, and a wound opened across the heavens, dark and cold. Stars fell like sparks from a broken lantern. For many years after, the sky remained scarred, a line of emptiness no fire could warm. The maiden could not bear to see it. She had known loss herself, so she picked up her loom and began to mend what the storm had broken. She worked in silence, her breath glowing in the air. Every thread she pulled from her spool carried a color not yet born on earth, green like deep forest glass, blue like frozen waves, gold like the last memory of summer. She wove slowly, carefully. Each night a small piece of the sky shone brighter than before. Wanderers who passed through the valley would stop and stare, whispering, "The sky is healing." But they did not see the maiden's hands trembling. They did not hear her quiet sobs carried by the wind. For each thread she wove took something from her. A memory, a warm laugh, a small piece of her heart. Still, she continued. One night, a young shepherd found her sitting beside her loom, her face pale with exhaustion. "What are you doing out here alone?" he asked. She looked up with tired eyes and said, "I'm mending what was broken." The shepherd glanced at the sky and whispered, "Is the sky worth your life?" The maiden smiled softly. "I'm not giving my life," she said. "I'm giving my light." Then she returned to her weaving. The shepherd visited her again and again, bringing warm food and firewood. He spoke gently, hoping to ease her loneliness. But though she listened, she rarely answered. Her heart remained fixed on the sky. As the winter deepened, her weaving grew faster, brighter. The torn sky now glimmered with long rivers of color, moving like breath, alive and soft. People across the north saw the lights and believed them to be a gift from the gods. They did not know they were watching the maiden's soul stretch across the heavens. On the longest night of the year, the maiden reached the final row of her tapestry. Her thread shined brighter than ever before, so bright that the snow around her glowed like dawn. But her hands were shaking. Her breath came in shallow clouds. She knew she did not have enough strength left to finish. The shepherd found her collapsed in the snow, the last thread slipping from her fingers. He knelt beside her and said, "You have done enough. Let someone else finish." But she shook her head. "No," she whispered, "a wound left open will freeze the whole sky." She looked up at him, tears freezing on her cheeks. "Help me stand." He lifted her gently. Together, they walked to the loom. She placed her trembling hands on the frozen wood and pulled the final thread through. The sky opened like a flower. Color burst outward in waves. Green, blue, violet, gold, flowing across the horizon in a dance that seemed to breathe. The shepherd gasped. "It's beautiful," he whispered. The maiden smiled weakly. "It will keep the world warm," she said. Then her knees faltered, and she leaned into his arms. He held her as she faded. Her body grew lighter and lighter, as if turning into air. The shepherd cried out, but she only placed a gentle hand on his cheek and said, "Nothing woven with love is ever truly lost." Her final breath shimmered into the night. A thin line of light drifted upward from her chest and joined the tapestry she had created. For a moment, the colors brightened, swirling like a heartbeat, then settled into the calm, soft glow that would be known forever as the Northern Lights. The shepherd stood alone in the snow, staring at the sky she had mended. And though he looked for her for many years, he never found her again. But every winter, when the lights stretched across the sky, he saw her smile in the colors. They say she still weaves up there, adding new light to help guide travelers through the dark. And when the lights dance, they dance with her steps. Some believe the lights are fire. Some believe they are stars reborn. But the old ones say this: the Northern Lights are the memory of a girl who refused to let the world remain broken. And the sky shines because her heart never stopped glowing.